In my coaching practice, I run across a number of female professionals who are frustrated with their career progression. They feel like they've been committed to the company, working endless hours and doing whatever it takes to get the job done and then some. A big part of the problem is they feel like they're trying to push through this journey on their own. In fact, it's not just a feeling. That's the career challenge we'll tackle today in Fuel Forward with Vivian Blade. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Fuel Forward with Vivian Blade, where I share power-packed pointers to fuel your career forward. I run a speaking, training, and coaching business focused on helping professionals achieve career success. I answer questions on career challenges and barriers that are keeping you from achieving your vision of success. Studies on the progress of professional women show that yes, so many women are pushing through their careers on their own. A recent study by LeanIn.org and McKinsey & Company on women in the workplace concluded that women get less access to the people and opportunities that advance careers and are disadvantaged in many of their daily interactions. The study found that women are less likely to receive the first critical promotion to manager. So, far fewer end up on the path to leadership and are less likely to be hired into more senior positions. Women also get less access to the people, input, and opportunities that accelerate careers. As a result, the higher you look in companies, the fewer women you see. The data is evident. The stories are sobering. Stephanie was promoted to a senior professional level position and was on her way up the ladder to an executive level position. She was the only female at that level in this department. Her boss realized that her salary was well below that of her male peers, even though the career paths had been similar and the responsibilities in this role were the same. She was oblivious to the situation, but luckily she had a boss who was not satisfied with the disparity. He advocated for her salary to be brought to an equitable level, ensuring she was compensated fairly for her work. Stephanie is one of the lucky ones. Many women are playing catch-up across their entire careers. Professional women are missing critical relationships such as mentors, coaches, advocates, and sponsors to enable success in their careers. There's a lack of awareness among professionals that they need these important relationships, so they fail to seek them out. Companies also don't realize or appreciate the importance of these relationships and don't provide a supporting environment for these types of relationships to occur. Why does this matter? The impact to companies falls right to the bottom line from a number of challenges that result. Attrition occurs when professionals don't feel supported, and especially if they're diverse, don't see themselves with future opportunities, as they see few leaders or others moving up that look like them. Millennials have lower levels of patience when career opportunities are not apparent and are likely to move on, leaving gaps on your potential pipeline. A second challenge is that business results are lackluster because of ill-prepared leaders. Women often don't get the business-critical experience that they need so that they can truly be successful. A third challenge is lack of inclusion because the primarily visible talent are the ones that look like the leaders already at the top. Humans' natural tendency is to gravitate to people with similarities. Lack of engagement is another critical challenge. The impact for professionals results in frustration from lack of opportunities, causing them to more actively look outside. They fail to reach their full potential or feel that the talents and commitment to the company are truly valued. Lack of advancement means loss of income potential over their lifetime, which has significant personal implications. Career success and talent development take a team approach beyond the traditional manager-employer relationships. The corporate environment is complex with formal and informal processes and networks and plenty of office politics. So you need people in your network to help you navigate this environment. Allies, mentors, and sponsors are important relationships in your career, each who have a different role and may come in and out of the career journey at different points along the way. You need to understand these relationships and manage them effectively. Let's take a closer look at your professional relationships. Professional relationships can be categorized into 4 types: acquaintances, allies, advocates, and though we don't like to think about them, adversaries, and some of you have them. Acquaintances are people that you may have met, basically know their name, maybe work with them somewhat infrequently. You don't really know a lot about each other. You may be cordial in greeting each other and have a high-level first impressions perception of each other. Allies are people with whom you've had multiple opportunities to work with. You've come to know each other really pretty well and work well together. You have a respect for each other, and with your closest allies, you tend to have each other's back. These allies are often considered friends as well. Allies are very helpful in getting your day-to-day work done. And as reliable resources, they can provide a safe space for honest feedback, sharing ideas, and staying informed about organizational matters. Advocates are people who may not even be an ally, but they know enough about you to have a very high perception of you. They speak favorably about you and your work. They can become a sponsor, willingly mentioning your name and making favorable comments when they matter most. Adversaries are relationships we often like to ignore but are sometimes there. Have you ever experienced an adversary in your career? You may not see eye to eye on some things, maybe have different philosophies or personalities or styles that make your relationship more adversarial. You have to manage these relationships along with the other types. Your goal is to turn strategic acquaintances into allies and advocates. They are important to your ability to execute effectively and to advance your career. How are allies and advocates important to your career? Allies often are great resources as mentors. A mentor usually works with you on a specific development area. They also can help you understand how things really work in the office and help you avoid landmines in your career. A mentor may be within or outside your employer and can be at any level, senior to you, a peer, or even a subordinate. An ally also can be your boss who uses real-time opportunities to coach with constructive feedback and praise. Advocates can become sponsors who are not only speaking up about you, but they also are advocating for you when career opportunities arise. Both allies and advocates are critical to your career success. I'm going to show you how to structure and get the greatest benefit from these relationships. Do you remember when you learned to ride a bike? Most of us had help. I remember when my brother Elbert, he got a bike before me. I was so jealous. But when I finally got a bike, my big brother helped me learn to ride. He guided me through training wheel stage and built my confidence when the training wheels came off. A mentor in your career is a lot like a big brother helping you learn to ride a bike. A good mentoring experience doesn't just happen without planning and care throughout the process. There are 4 stages of the mentoring relationship that define your progress. Those are selecting, engaging, progressing, and closing. Each stage has its own set of objectives and tasks. We're going to focus on the first and probably the most important stage, selecting the right mentor. For more details on the success factors and implementation for the other stages of the mentoring process, make sure you check out the complete Fuel Forward Mentoring Guide. When I worked for Humana in the early stages of my career, I was fortunate enough to be part of the Management Intern Program. Though that program came with a formal mentoring relationship, being matched with the right mentor was just as important as selecting my own mentor in other stages of my career. I learned that being thoughtful about and carefully outlining my needs was one of the most important first steps. Before selecting a mentor, know what your development areas are and what skills you need to build for your career path. Connect with the right mentor, someone you can benefit from. Don't only select someone who's deemed important as your mentor. Seek a mentor who is knowledgeable about the skills you need to enhance or the roles that you're considering on your career path. Find someone who has common personal or professional interests and aligns with your expertise. Consider asking someone you don't know well to be your mentor. This gives you an opportunity to build an important new relationship. That person can push you potentially maybe a little bit more than someone that you already feel comfortable with. Your mentor can be a senior person to you, depending on your goals and needs. However, sometimes a peer can have expertise that you can learn from as well, and there is nothing wrong with that. You may even have more than one mentor if a single person can't provide the support for all of the areas you wish to develop. After you've assessed your needs, don't be afraid to ask your manager to help you identify a mentor. From leaders I've interviewed, there are 2 schools of thought on how to get a sponsor. Some strongly stated that you don't ask someone to be a sponsor, that sponsors are earned. A sponsorship develops from interactions with you and consistent exposure to you that builds trust in your ability and your potential. Sponsorship grows from the human physiological response that builds as someone gets to know you. Other leaders believe you should advocate for yourself and ask a specific leader to be a sponsor. You don't just wait on the sideline to be put into the game. You let the coach know that you're ready and that you want in. If you use this approach, articulate where you'd like to go in your career, the skills that you hold, and those that you're building, and the track record of execution that you bring to the table. However, only ask the leader who is familiar and comfortable with you. You don't want to put others in an uncomfortable position. If they have doubts or questions about you, this can be extremely delicate, so proceed with caution. Sometimes you may not even realize you have a sponsor. A sponsor can be aware of you without having a direct connection with you personally. Realize that the more people know about you, the more comfortable they are going to feel recommending you. Sponsors were very instrumental in my career at Humana and GE. However, I found that I had to do my part to market myself and to build a reputation that leaders were willing to invest in. When sponsors recommend you, their necks are on the line. People who trust them trust their recommendations. You become a reflection on them. And if you know people have recommended you for something, you owe it to them to do your very best. I want you to take a couple of minutes to think about how you can set yourself up for a successful mentoring and sponsor experience. I want you to consider these 3 questions. First, regarding your mentoring experience. What 2 factors most contributed to successful outcomes in your mentoring relationships and why? Then list 3 characteristics or factors you will seek in your next mentor. Regarding your sponsor experience, which approach to securing a sponsor might be most appropriate for the culture in your company? Take a couple of minutes to quickly answer those questions, and when you're finished, take a minute to share your answers with a trusted ally. A great place to start with these important career relationships is with a great mentor. I encourage you to download the Fuel Forward Mentoring Guide, go through the mentoring stages, and put the practices in place to maximize your mentoring relationships. Take charge of ensuring these critical relationships are supporting you the way you need them in your career. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know how I can help you fuel forward.